like to invite Imran on stage. We can get started with the discussion that we have planned.
Good evening, everyone. So first of all, thank you so much for coming here. I know it's a weekend and weekend night, so thanks for turning up here. And I would rather let you speak more. I'll speak less, right? And I'll discuss the challenges that we have when we do the recruitment and all these things. Because we were primarily a test prep company where we were teaching students for multiple type of examination. We prepare students for UPSC, JEE, all sorts of test prep, right? But the challenges that we faced, because even to run that kind of venture, we need lots of people here. Right now, we have a family of more than 10,000 people who are working for PW, right? And all these happened within a span of 3 years only, right? So we need to have a lot of people, right? So right from tech, product, engineering, academics, in each and every field, right? Then we realized this is a big pain. This is the biggest pain, because if you have the right workforce, then you can do anything, right? So what we have realized, so whenever we used to get the people from the colleges, just after colleges or fresher, then there are lots of training that was required, right? And even I went to IIT BHU, but I didn't learn anything at IIT BHU. Whatever I learned, that was after IIT BHU, right? Even same thing might be true for you guys, right? So we learn less in the colleges because that kind of education system we have, even we become very relaxed in the colleges. But we learn a lot once we start exploring, once we start working on any project. So what we thought, there is a huge demand of building such ecosystem where we can actually train people by letting them work on any project or anything where they can actually learn, right? So we came up with this PW Skills, and we started with the tech courses, but our vision is that we'll go to other courses in non-tech areas. That could be BFSI, that could be around product management, analytics, so many things, right? Digital marketing. But apart from that, what we feel, जॉब लगाने के लिए इट्स नॉट जस्ट के आपको जो है ना बच्चों को उस तरीके से ट्रेन करना है कि वो एक स्किल सीखें, राइट? आपको यू नीड टू प्ले विद द माइंडसेट, राइट? बिकॉज व्हाट आई हैव रियलाइज्ड, आई वाज एंटरप्रेन्योर फॉर 8-10 years, राइट? आई हैव सीन कि आप कुछ भी चीज़ सीख सकते हो, बट यू नीड टू हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ पैशन, दैट काइंड ऑफ कमिटमेंट फॉर दैट वर्क. And whenever we work in this company, so we always seen कि जब भी कोई भी बंदा, even if they were not capable enough, if they were not skilled enough, but once they came here and they have shown their commitment, so they learned. And we have seen the results, right? So with that ethos, we started building this PW Skills, कि जहाँ पे लोगों को will actually provide industry the people they need to deliver the work, right? Rather than कि बच्चों को एक डिग्री दे दिया, एक सर्टिफिकेट दे दिया, लेकिन actual training नहीं दिया. Once they go to the company, फिर वहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग मिलती है, right? तो इसी डायरेक्शन में हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं. And आप लोगों से भी समझना होगा कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज, आपकी चैलेंजेस क्या हैं, व्हाट यू फील. तो स्टार्ट विद आप लोग बताएं, इफ यू वांट टू शेयर सम चैलेंजेस रिलेटेड टू हायरिंग, क्या चल रहा है अभी के टाइम में, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, बिकॉज यू रिप्रेजेंट बिग कंपनीज हियर, राइट? सो हाउ इज द मार्केट हैपनिंग, अभी के टाइम में क्या चैलेंजेस चल रहे हैं, किस टाइप के लोगों की ज़रूरत है, ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ ईयर्स आपको क्या रिक्वायरमेंट समझ में आ रहा है. सो एनीवन हु वुड लाइक टू शेयर एनीथिंग अराउंड दिस challenges of the industry? Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So I come from advertising agency where we look for a lot of creative people, copywriters, designers, at times even developers. India being such a large country in terms of population, but still when we come to hiring, we have to interview a lot of candidates to find that one person, who can be onboarded. So in spite of, candidates coming with a lot of, they have done a lot of courses. Recently, we are hiring for one of our very big client. We are looking for web developers. It's a simple HTML5, CSS, JavaScript coding aana chahiye and all of that. But when they actually sit on the test, the screen to take the test, I would say 90% of them flunk. 50% marks भी नहीं आता है उनको, unfortunately. And that's when, we keep interviewing more and more candidates. So it's quite a time-consuming task. and we have a revenue attached to it because client ke liye hiring karna hai, so it has to be timely hiring. So a lot of recruiters' time go in identifying that one right candidate. In spite of so many people being available in the market, we still struggle a lot. So that's what.
Technology is a byproduct which you get to explain about it when you actually appear for a technical interviews, right? Like she mentioned about online examinations. So we have a unique process which is we do a GCA, which is primarily on cognitive analysis, and that's a verbal communication. We do it with the person, and imagine it's the ratio is 1:10. So only one person out of 10 people can qualify that cognitive analysis, and that's the basic. People are not able to even answer the basic logical questions. And these are very, very general questions. And the problem is, because we kind of are doing a rat race, we are running for the technologies and a high stack overflow, but we are missing out on the basic foundation. And we are not even thinking about why are we solving this problem rather than just working on that particular problem. So if we can try and inculcate the thought process of why I'm actually working on it and what is the basis behind it, people will become more smarter. So that's my thought.
Okay, I'm Debjani. I have worked in multiple kind of organizations. Right now I'm an advisor to 2 startup companies as well as have my own HR offering firm. So one of the other things that I'd like to mention here, that apart from the fact that, people don't, an interviewing process itself needs to be looked at from a very close quarter. Also the fact that she said about the cognitive test, I mean, it's not such a simple thing to go by. Now, these are competence-based problems. The other problem that we are facing also is a sheer lack of ethics today, unfortunately. It starts with using abbreviated words for the institute that you pass out from. It is as basic as that. Not only that, somebody will say, I did a leadership program from IIM. Now, for God's sake, a leadership program from IIM is not for anybody and everybody, right? And it requires a certain amount of depth and background to do that. But what they would have done is maybe an online 2-3 days or something, and that IIM may be not Indian Institute of Management, but something else. But then what happens is the way they fabricate the whole thing, you're left thinking that, what am I hiring at the end of the day? Am I getting the right mix of competence, attitude, behavior, and integrity? Or do I have to settle for some and, have to let go of others? Because you have a mixed bag today in the market, and you really don't know, which one do you want to vouch for? What is the right kind of a person to bring on board? I face a problem, and when I coach people on hiring skills and interviewing skills and all that, it becomes quite a bit of a problem in that area.
So what Debjani ma'am said, it's completely true that that's the basic hygiene one has to maintain. I'm coming from EXL Analytics, and when we hire people, what we find, as a challenge is, because we have a lot of campus hires, in our batches, which we make them join. But I think as an edge, because technologies, everyone, we have a lot of institutes who are providing students also. But I think one edge factor is if a person has some kind of blend or exposure in domain. So that becomes an X factor for anybody, to come and understand. The reason being, when we hire campus people, we actually, make them sure that, they go through domain-specific training. Because they get a real-life example, case studies, from those domains. So that is an X factor. That is something which is lacking, because everyone is doing, technology upgradation and learning on those skills. But I think a majority of them, they do not understand where the application will be and how that industry will be, looking at those technology usage. So that is something which I wanted to add. Thank you.
Yes, very points.
So myself, Apoor Jain, I'm working in Brisk Consulting. So it's an insurtech firm. So I'm in the product development part. So in the freshers hiring, what I see that when they join and when after a few months, what the expectation is. So let's say, I'll take an example that we hire a BTech from a college, and when we interview them and they join, they want to join as a developer. They think that we learn Python, we learn .NET, we learn Java, I should be coding a platform. But sometimes the company's expectation is, no, we want someone into a testing department. They think, oh, I'm a BTech, I should be doing a development thing. But we ask them to join a testing team. In the nowadays development scope is there in the testing division also. We have all the automation tests and all. So so I think the problem is in the mindset. When in the college itself they are there, everyone thinks I should join as a developer. So I think when they are in a college or when the training is going on, they should be taught that the scope is there in the every department. So even if they join a data analytics department, the development scope is there as well. So I think the mindset of the students or the freshers should be there to work anywhere, even wherever they are.
So many problems, right? So if I have to classify into 3 pieces, what I see, what ma'am raised the point, starting with the first E. I have 3 E's, summarizing all these. First E, ethics problem. This is a true problem. Most of the things written in the CVs might not be true, right? And quoting 2-3 days workshop into a degree and all these things, that keeps happening, right? So ethics, before hiring, after hiring, this is a big problem, right? Second, expectation. Second E is expectation. Every tester want to become developer, right? Every data analytics guy want to become a data scientist. And every developer want to become a DevOps engineer, right? And all these people want to become AI engineer, right? So expectation mismatch is there, true. And then third is the execution, what sir mentioned, right? Okay, they come to office just to have coffee and few games and here and they go. So execution is really missing. So what we find, if we fix these 3 E's, then only system could be fixed. So basically, see, so it has to be what I was mentioning earlier, it has to be built in the culture where the learning is happening, right? Okay, it's not the degree that will take you to the long path, right? It's not the degree. Second, in the long run, if you are not ethical enough, you will never win the race, right? And someday or other day, you have to come to execution, right? Because everyone need to justify themselves. You can't keep hopping like this, one company, another company, another company. This could run for next 4, 5, 6, 7 years, but you can't build a sustainable career on these things, right? So eventually, and that's why, the AI came and all this, and these people are having sleepless night, the people who were not doing the coding and the real work. Now they feel, because AI won't be able to replace the real engineers, but they could replace the fake engineers. That is for sure, right?
Post-COVID, everything moved digital, okay? So because of that disruption, you could see the use of AI and all coming into existence. That obviously you could have things which could be more digitalized, worked in and around fashion, so that the work could be more efficient, cost effective, and done in a lesser time. So that was the need of the hour, and that's why AI took the advantage that time, especially when COVID came. So last 2 years or 3 years down the line, if you see, the extensive use of AI and all has increased extensively, even in any sector for that matter, whether it was real estate sector or whether it was into embedded systems, EV systems, or so on. Everywhere you could feel AI coming into picture, and they were trying to build on certain solutions which could enhance the current work system in and around.
This is a demand creation time. All right. So basically, we have realized a couple of years back, whatever is working now will not work after 10 or 15 years. The kind of a laziness we all are adding to our lifestyles. So they need to bring something to help us out, and it's a market creation only. So it's a planned market creation where it's a population which is driving all towards these technologies and tools to drive that mindset that this is what we are going to live with. There could be a scenario after 10 years we're not even using AI, because they're the kind of emergencies and scenarios from an environmental sustainability as well, which is impacting us. There is a thought which is also going in the background, guys, are you doing it right? There is a social constraint to this as well. So it's a combination which is driving, but it is only a market creation, which is the reason that is being branded so pretty well.
I just wanted to say that it's a advancement of technology. So if we see 10 years back or 20 years back, there were mainframe systems, COBOL systems. So suddenly there was a advancement in technology. You have Microsoft coming in with Windows and all. And nowadays we have phones with smartphones and all. So I would say it's an advancement of technology. How long it will stay, that's a question mark. But yeah, like for example, 5 years back, there was a trend of blockchains and all. But nowadays it has gone into shell. But yeah, let's see. AI, so AI is a future, I can't say, but yeah, it's looking a good perspective, yeah.
This I say typically, between the group, whenever this AI comes into picture. If you go back to the times of when we started as a humanity, the year spans were, when we're talking about, were in millions. Go back, what I say with the AI in the current time, the rate of change is very, very rapid. Imagine earlier the change used to take thousands and thousands of years. Example, fire, wheel, right? When they came, they changed our society in matter of thousand or probably centuries. So industrial age came, then the metal came, let's say internet came. It changed society in decades. But here, what we are discussing is, it's a very rapid change. AI has changed. If you remember, it was just 4 months back when OpenAI came. And now even within OpenAI, forget about it, it's now generative AI, right? It's so old school now, within just few months. Now the change is happening in days, in hours. And that's what in the fraternity of HR, you speak about, you are afraid of change or not. But then I think the pace of adaptability of the change, we are missing that. We kind of not seeing that from the holistic point of view. Are we going in the direction we kind of set for ourselves, or is it taking us to doomsday or wherever, as people speak? So that's the perspective I want to bring in, that the change of pace is so rapid. Are we adapting to the same pace or not? It's something we have to kind of deliberate more to the discussion, and which probably bring more points to ponder.
Product head, Yogesh sir, please come. So he heads the product at PW, Yogesh Shukla. It might be a surprise question for you, but you are from the tech fraternity, so you could answer this. Why is AI so much buzz around AI these days?
So the buzz around AI, so as we all discussed, like we have heard this word long back, and but the pace of adoption, and not just the adoption, the pace at which it has evolved. So it took it years to become usable. So let's say we must have created wheels long back, but for those wheels to become a bicycle, a cart, it took time. So around AI, whatever models, etc., we created, for them to actually become usable, assimilate all the information which is there in the world. So it took time, and now when it is there in that form that it is usable for us, that is when we all are going gaga over it, that we give it a prompt and it gives us answers. So like when we write any product requirement documents, so earlier what used to happen is like we are thinking, brainstorming, like there is a business opportunity in front of us. How do we capitalize on that business opportunity? What are the various ways in which we can create a product solution? So that thing, now when you tell AI that, let's say PW has a captive audience of so many students, and for those students there is need for an e-commerce store, and how should we create an e-commerce store, what should be the features? Just give a prompt to the AI and it will write the user stories or a usable information for you, based on which you can now give to your technology team and they can code on it. And not just that, now AI has learned from so many code available on Stack Overflow elsewhere that it can even create usable functions. And days are not far when like AI will be able to create applications, web apps, etc. But like, will AI replace human?
What is the role of HRs? If the system like the code, if they will develop the application.
So prompt engineering, as we say, is gaining lots of traction. So AI will not work in itself. So somebody has to make it work. So it is just like it is a tool in your hands. So when Excel came and it made it easier for people to crunch numbers, but still like people had to know arithmetic, they had to know the formulas to do any addition, subtraction, or VLOOKUP, etc. They had to know these things, and then they could make use of Excel. Any financial analyst, they rely a lot on Excel to calculate net present value of any investment, future value of investments, but they have to know those concepts. Then only they'll be able to make use of those tools. So same is the case with AI as well. And for us to make AI work for us, we need to understand that how these systems work and what to prompt to to the AI so that it provides us usable information, or like it becomes a utility for us. So AI is also getting commoditized now, and for us to make use of it as a commodity, we just need to know like what all ways are there. If we talk about Google search as a thing, it was a wow thing. But if we have to download something for free in a PDF format, so there are certain people who will write download PDF, then there are certain people who know that file, colon, PDF, etc. What are the advanced operators so that Google search works for us in the best possible way. So that is where the role of HR is basically to identify such people. As you have all mentioned that there are many people who write in their resume anything, everything they have heard. So there will be people who will be writing that, okay, we know prompt engineering, we have done it. But then you have to identify such people and probably make use of AI to your advantage, and like identify like people who really know things they have done, and people who have just probably made use of AI to write fancy lines in their resumes.
While interviewing, so every company has different way, but I have little different way. I am a recruiter, by the way, working with Crystal Power, a recruitment head. As for me, recruiter takes 14 seconds to review the resumes. So what kind of word that you can add, right? 1 page, 3 page, 4 page. But for me, always the attitude. Technology can be learned. Everyone has learned the technology. But if you have a right attitude, trust me, you can work. If I'm hiring coding, say programmer or developer, I don't care in he's working with .NET, Java or PHP, Python, any language. For me, is a programming language. Syntax will, remain same, right? If anyone can write a program in Java, he can write in .NET as well. So that kind of, the scenario that we build. But trust me, technology keeps changing, and we are product development company. Our product, every year we are changing. I cannot go with the product line, same product line with, the client. So we always use new technologies, and just like new technologies, Solar, Lucene, Cassandra, Mongo, Elasticsearch, React, Kratos, these kind of new technologies are coming, and we need to adapt so that we can build world-class product line. So we need the people who understand technology, not one programming language, right? So our standard is like that. And in college, we were talking, I'm recruiting campuses for last 15 years. Every time people will ask, how much you are paying. They will not ask you what kind of work I'll be doing. I never heard that, but again, I make sure, if I'm visiting campus, I make sure, these are the 6 or 7 roles: software developer, test engineer, application support, or SRE, DevOps, network engineer. I make sure, these are the roles. You pick, you choose that, you want to become a developer. And based on that, we select the people and highly successful. And after that, the people who are working in systems, say 4, 5, or 6 years, we did the study. What are the key skills or qualities they have, so they are so successful, and that's why they are 5 rated out of 5. So figured out based the interview competency based interview seats and all, and started interviewing and giving decent result. Even people with me, they are working for last 10, 12 years. They haven't changed the job. So this is what we did, and it's working for us. Thank you, guys.
2 points. First is that the first point I agree with him, check the attitude. So HR will be back in their people business. That is 100% true. Second thing, somehow I do not agree with him. When we go to campus recruitment, because of the number, because of the quantity game, we do not publicize which role, what opportunity, because we hire in mass. We do not hire skill-wise, we hire in bulk, we hire in quantity. So, from my point of view, what I have been doing past 15 years is that we definitely give a broad spectrum and broad roles and responsibility. This will be your purview, and beyond this purview, it won't happen. Below this purview, it won't happen. Definitely, you don't have a choice, but definitely you can align to it. Second thing is that most common way what each and every recruiter do not do in the industry is find the right set of people with right attitude, right mindset. For example, he's interested in artificial intelligence in automotive space. His best company would be an automotive, technology company, embedded IT company. But what he get is a company who is doing software development into maybe BSFI. So if that match is done, I think we are good. Yeah, thank you.
You guys touch very important thing, that is, it is the attitude that matters, right? And there's a very famous saying that it is not your aptitude, it is your attitude that determines your altitude. Where will you go, right? So very important. And with this, we understand we have Mr. Satish ji, please come. He's a CHRO here, and he built this entire team of 10,000 people at PW. He's the person behind this, right? So, Satish ji, what do you take care while hiring? What is the most important thing जो आपके लिए ऐसा होता है, अगर वो red signal है तो नहीं लेंगे, वो green signal है तो लेंगे? So, what are these important things?
So, exactly, rightly said that, gentleman. Attitude is most important, correct? So, technology होगी, skill होंगे, function होगा, या फिर जो भी मतलब काम होगा, वो तो हम सिखा सकते हैं. But right attitude is most important. So, हमारे like ऑल स्क्रीनिंग और शॉर्टलिस्टिंग प्रोसेस में एटीट्यूड एप्टीट्यूड दोनों चीज़ें होती है, बट एप्टीट्यूड इज़ मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट. वो भी देखते हैं, और लर्निंग का कितना झील है, सो दैट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम हमने मतलब ज़्यादा फोकस लीडरशिप रोल्स में किया था, एटीट्यूड कैसा है, बट एटीट्यूड भी सम टाइम हम चेंज कर सकते हैं विथ बिहेवियरल राइट ट्रेनिंग एंड राइट फिटमेंट ऑफ लीडर. सो उस हिसाब से भी एटीट्यूड भी चेंज हो सकता है, एप्टीट्यूड भी चेंज हो सकता है, बट यू राइटली सेड दैट एटीट्यूड इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, और हम भी वही देखते हैं.
So with this, so this hiring and all these things, so we are building this PW skills with the motive, with the intention, ये सारे problem solve कर पाएं. And we are not magician, right? We can't solve it in one go. So we are trying to inculcate all these things so that with time we can build the system. Because what we have done, I don't know how much have you followed PW, we have actually disrupted the test prep industry. Now each and every student, they might be at a very remote part, and they are very touching story. मैं आप लोगों को बस एक स्टोरी बताना चाहता हूँ about PW. There was a man, उसके बच्चे he was a worker in a village, बहुत ही कम earn करता था. उसके बच्चे ने उसको बोला कि they had a goat, बकरी जो होती है, ठीक है, they had a goat, कि पापा इसको बेच के PW का एक IIT की तैयारी करने का बैच 4,000 रुपये का आता है, क्या आप वो खरीदोगे? दिस इज अ रियल स्टोरी. ऐसे बहुत सारी स्टोरीज आपको मिल जाएंगी इंटरनेट पे, ठीक है. क्या वो बकरी बेच के आप IIT का बैच खरीदोगे क्या, ठीक है. उसके बाद उसके फादर ने बोला हाँ ठीक है, तो अच्छी बात बोल रहे हो, पढ़ने वाली बात, और उसने बकरी बेच के बैच खरीदा, एंड दैट स्टूडेंट इज स्टडिंग इन IIT मद्रास राइट नाउ. So so many stories. So we have actually disrupted the test prep market, but now what we aim कि हम लोगों ने एक पार्ट तो कर दिया एजुकेशन का सॉल्व, बच्चों को अच्छे कॉलेज में पहुंचाने के लिए जितनी भी चीज़ें की जा सकती थी. वी कांट सेंड एवरीवन टू द गुड कॉलेज, बट नाउ व्हाट वी वांट, हम लोग उसके आगे का फेज भी सॉल्व करें, बिकॉज दैट वाज द डिमांड फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट साइड कि यहाँ पे आप लोग आएँ, एंड देयर इज अपॉर्चुनिटी कि बच्चों को सही तरीके से ट्रेन करना, बच्चों को और एथिकल वे सिखाएं. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ ये है, क्योंकि ये जो है ना आपके अंदर जो इंटीग्रिटी होती है, दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, ठीक है. ये सिखाएं, बिकॉज एवरीवन हैज देयर ओन टैलेंट, देयर ओन एप्टीट्यूड, दे विल पिक विद देयर ओन टाइम, लेकिन सही कल्चर, सही ट्रेनिंग, सही माइंडसेट, और ऐसा पिक्चर नहीं दिखाएं कि सीधे पढ़ते ही आपको 25 लाख का जॉब लग जाएगा. आप अगर DND से आ रहे होंगे तो आपने देखा होगा किसी कॉलेज का, आई वोंट नेम द कॉलेज, लिखा होगा alumni earns 75 lakh. Once, how does it matter today? How does it matter? कोई बंदा कभी पढ़ के उस कॉलेज से जाके अमेरिका में कुछ भी कमा रहा होगा, how does it matter? ये सही चीज नहीं है. So actually we want to bring the transparency, we want to bring the honesty in this ecosystem. So with this, I'll end this conversation. There's so much to learn from you, all of you, and we'll keep doing this session. Thank you so much.